Most people I give library orientations to think that what we have is books and computers. True, but we have so much more. And this is where I think programs are important. I like to call them our window dressing, something designed to draw people in to learn more about our core services. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite programs we've put on over the years. Enthusiasm is contagious. I always start with I'm excited about. You'll see the theme that costumes are never required, but always encouraged. And I like to get my staff involved. What are they interested in? What are their favorite hobbies or books or movies? Do we have collective interests? What's new and trendy? What's classic that everyone relates to? Harry Potter seems to resonate with several generations and was the basis of our most successful event of all time, the Yule Ball. We had over 150 people of all ages dressed as witches, wizards, and muggles, and it was amazing. Now, for the uninitiated, September 19th, ARG, it is International Talk Like a Pirate Day, which is a very fun way to advertise mango language because pirate is an option. And once we hook them with pirate language, they can see the others offered. And it can also get them onto our databases page to see how much more there is. But we go pirate crazy every year with a family program. We calculate the pieces of 8, which is silver and gold Oreos in a jar. Silver is worth gold, or silver is worth 4, gold is worth 8, and we calculate how much the jar is worth. Closest gets the jar of cookies. There's also trivia and a map to follow. Now, this can be as big or as small as you want, depending on how much commercial sponsorship is available or how many volunteers you can get. But we get quite a few volunteers every year because it is such a popular theme. And since it is so well known that we do it every year, it's always eagerly anticipated. Now, Camp Petaplushie has grown every year since we've done it. It's a stuffed animal petting zoo and was the perfect opportunity to team up with another activity because when we can partner with another organization on base, we are all better for it. Our EFMP coordinator was thrilled, and we offered an early time for the members of that program because this was a low stimulation and sensory focused program. There was minimal setup of habitat pens with stuffed animals and related books. We had volunteers that helped the families fill out their junior zookeeper guides. Now, at first, I thought the minimal setup would be disappointing, but with the pre-kids' imaginations, they filled in all the gaps and they had a blast. And especially, they had a good time in our aquarium area where they had water and sand play. And they could splash and play until their fingers were pruny or their parents dragged them away. But there also wasn't a lot of commercial sponsorship involved because we were creative with what we had. Now, Book Cafe. I loved it. This is not a success story. I don't know if it was we didn't market well or the timing wasn't right, but we never got more than 4 or 5 people. Maybe that was, we didn't partner with anybody though, and maybe that was the missing piece. This one was Mardi Gras themed. It was aimed at adults and suitable for date night. The menu they could order from, and we would bring it to them, or they could browse and serve themselves buffet style. When we posted pictures online, we got comments, I didn't know this was going on. When is the next one? How do I know it's happening? So it's still on the back burner for better marketing. Now, Settlers of Catan tournament, no marketing involvement, no commercial sponsorship, but it was a huge success, and we didn't partner with anybody else. But we had 4 full tables each time vying for our 3D printed crown to be ruler of Catan. What was the difference? So we do have a fun whiteboard that everybody can see on their way in. We have some very talented people that make sure they have a good time making this as creative as possible. And another way is we have quarter sheet flyers that we can give out when everybody checks out and just talk it up to people about what we're excited about. But the other thing that's key is being partners with your marketing team, making sure you get things in soon enough into their magazines and publications so that we can make sure we are seen through all of their avenues. Social media is excellent between ours and marketing's and getting on spouses' pages. So the events I've talked about are really fun, but they do require people to help. What about the times when we are short-staffed? We've all gone through it. So let's don't discount the power of passive programs. We had a painted rock craze in town, so we all jumped on the bandwagon and made our own. We put them out, and then the patrons did the work. And how many of us don't enjoy the classic Valentine's blind date with a book display? People get a giggle out of the hidden books and vague descriptions, and we vary the presentations every year, but the core of it is the same, to get people engaged. Now, for our non-romantics out there, we also provide our love disinfectant side, so they don't feel left out on this special occasion. If you see, we even have a large can of love disinfectant spray available, because sometimes it's fun to show two sides of the same thing because it can appeal to a larger audience. But don't forget to leverage your displays and make them into interactive activities. Our true crime display got a makeover. We had mug shots of the staff and their crimes. We had a handout of nonviolent crimes to research and pick your own library offense. Mug shop opportunity for patrons. Not pictured is the tape outline of the body on the floor. As you can see, my charge was completely accurate. I was guilty of too many corny jokes. But it was so fun to see parents, kids, and airmen all line up to get their picture taken because they were interested and engaged with what we had to show them. And it opens up the opportunity for more discussions about more resources. Now, we even touted our 3D print program with our Dinovember display. Patrons got a printed action figure if they picked up the Dinosaur Facts handout. And the biggest thing to bring to your programs, passive or otherwise, is enthusiasm. What you are excited about, other people will be too, and it will open up opportunities to showcase everything else the library has to offer.